Hi everyone, welcome to Chunky Junkies, Minis and More. My name is Janice Freeman. So I finally got the Apothecary junk journal done, and this is the case that I made to house it. I'm going to try to show it to you as best I can. It's not the best setup, but anyway, what I've done is I created this case and I wrapped it in. It's actually a brown paper bag that I distressed using various distress spray stains from Tim Holtz. And then I put a few pieces of hardware on it and created a handle. It's actually using some tape and some chipboard to stiffen it up. And then I wrapped it with that tape. I've got a little dangle here. It's just some little bottles that I had. So the way it works is it's got a little hitch post fastener. You just unpop that and then it'll lift up. And then this opens up. Whoops. Sorry, my backdrop's falling down on me here. Okay, just try to stick that a little better so it doesn't move on us. Yeah, so it'll open up. And then I have a few things that I'll show you here on this side. And then it opens up again, and I have a bunch of little jars that I have created. And then this is the book. So in here, it's just a little shelf that I put in there, and then I've got a few little bags and whatnot. There's just little ephemera pieces that are in most of the bags. That's just a little paper bag that I distressed. This is the waxed paper. I showed you in a previous previous video how I did the waxed paper, and then I just created these envelopes, and then I created just a tie. Folded it up, and then there's a few ephemera pieces there that you can access that way. And here's another one. This was actually this one, I believe. No, that is wax paper, sorry. And the same thing, it's just a few pieces of ephemera that came from the digital paper line that I used for this mini album, which I'll talk about when I show you the album. And then there's a bunch of papers. It looks like there's a big stack of papers here, but they're really flat embellishments. I've cut into them to make them look a little more dimensional. So I cut into this to make it where I could tuck things actually under it. And these ephemera pieces, these pieces that are stacked papers and whatnot, this comes from, it's called, I think it's called Ephemera Basics, or and it's a paper phenomenon. It's a paper phenomenon digital kit that you can buy, and she has a ton of beautiful embellishments that you can put them in any journal and they will just add to it. This is another little paper bag that I use to create another little pocket. This one's, it's just holding a bunch of tags and whatnot. So that's what I had shoved up in this little drawer here, or I guess spot. And I will get to that later. This is just, I actually wanted to put some scrolls down in here. I don't know if you can see that. There's a little compartment here. I actually had a bottle that would have fit it perfectly, and I can't find the bottle. So there's, like I say, there's some scrolls that I want to create and just pile them up here, maybe put a string across to hold them in. But for now, I've got this little paper bag, and it's got some dried flowers and herbs and whatnot in it, and then that just tucks up in there. This it pulls down so that you can access these little recipe cards. And this I got as a digital from Style 24 Designs. And so there's, you can, each one, this one's like inflammation and pain, cough and cold, flu, sleeplessness, stress, tummy troubles. You can pick whichever one. She's got quite a few on there. And then it's a little folder, and in the folder there's all these recipe cards. Now, I have no idea if the recipes in here are true. I wouldn't dare try them. So, but just so you're aware that that is what's in here. You'd have to do some further digging to find out if those are legit recipes for different symptoms. So over here on this is all these little bottles. Most of them, they're stuff that I got from outside in my yard, or they're herbs and spices that I had in my cupboard, mosses that I had, went out in the forest there and collected twigs, stuff like that. So, and then the little, I don't know where, I've had these for years, these little tiny labels, and so I just dressed them up and put them in here. I would take some of the bottles out to show you a little closer, but I have a piece of two-way tape on the bottom so that they're not completely stuck. You could move them, but they're so they don't rattle around in here. Then I got some wax paper and I tied them off with some string and some of the corks and whatnot, just to add some character. Some are tied with cheesecloth pieces, some with string, just to make them look a little older. Now, to get the bottles to look aged, because originally they were really shiny brand new bottles and I wanted that aged look. There's different ways you can do it. There are different, I think there's matte medium I think you can use. I've seen people sand, they actually sand them with sandpaper. So I attempted to do that, but it was such a pain to do. So I just took some white acrylic paint, watered it down quite well, and then I just, with my finger, I just kept rubbing it on the glass and just spinning the glass as I went. And as it was drying, it was leaving this old frosted look to it. So that's how I've done that. So, yeah, and then the book, it just pops out. And it's just a compartment there that I've got the book in. So I am going to switch the camera view, and then we will come back and I will show you the junk journal. I guess I could show you a little more. So this just closes up. I'll have to put this away after. I'm just going to take this stuff out and put it away after. And then it closes up this way, and this comes off. It's just these little bottles again, as I said. It's just on here with a little clip. And then that pops on. And that is all there is really to it. I didn't get fancy on all the decorating along the sides and the back and everything. I kept everything really simple. On the bottom there are some little feet for the different compartments. Okay, so I'll be back with another video and show you the completed junk journal. Okay, so this is the junk journal that goes in the Apothecary case that I just showed you. What I've done, I did some videos on how I created this journal, and this now is just the final review. I've got it all decorated up. So it is a hollow back journal, hardcover, and there's 3 signatures in it. This little, I think they call it headband. I had attached it in the how-to videos there. I attached it to the actual spine, the curve of the spine, and I should have probably attached to this piece here that the signatures are sewn to, but it still did the same effect. I still like that look of something hanging out the top. So this is what it looks like closed. The technique I ended up using on the outside is it's my waxed paper, and I have done a video previously on how I create that. And then like you wrinkle it up once it's dried and set for a day or so, and then it gives you this kind of old weathered leather look. So that's what I've wrapped it in. The paper line that I used is from Bohemian Crafting. Eva Zedkova has come out with this Apothecary digital papers, and they're on her Etsy shop. You can find them there. The images are just absolutely beautiful. So that's kind of what inspired me to make this. So this is just going to be a quick flip through. So I will show you what I've done. The green, when you see these green kind of file folders, that is what they are. They're hanging file folders, and I just cut them down to fit this journal. So anyway, there's a little pocket here. I'm just going to keep this out. I'm going to need it. And pocket here. So the way my printer prints out these images, in some cases I've got white space on the top, the way some of the images are printed, and then on other ones, the white space is on the side. And to hide the white space so that I still had the, the full-sized paper, I just put some kind of decoration on either the top and the bottom, if that's how it printed, or on the sides. So you'll see that throughout. So anyway, it's a pocket down here, and then there's a little insert place here, a couple of pockets I just created with some scrap paper, and I punched them out. And then there's just a couple of ephemera pieces that I've had laying around. And then when you flip that over, this comes with the paper line. There's some pieces of ephemera there. And again, they just tuck into this tuck spots. Here I created some clusters. And then I just tucked some ephemera. Like I say, most of the ephemera that I had is just stuff that has been kicking around here. It's not all from the paper line. This was from the paper line. She had some images that were quite a bit larger, so I cut the pieces out, so I had these large bottles. Did a bit of stamping. This is a pocket, and then I just shoved in some of the ephemera pieces there that she had. And you can journal on the back of those if you wanted. And then this opens up. And I am not going to pull this out. It's just a piece of paper that you can journal on, but I haven't trimmed it yet. So to pull it out is easy. Putting it back in isn't so easy. So, and then when you flip it up, there is another little pocket and a couple of journal pieces. Ephemera pieces, I'm sorry, that you can journal on. And another piece here. I did a bit of stamping with kind of a crackle finish there. It's just decorating, and there's no tuck. I just covered that white space with this. And here, the image, the white space was on the side, so I created a pocket on each side. And then I just tucked in an ephemera piece. I think that, no, that's not. The little bottle, piece of ephemera, and then I just use the index clip to shut this envelope. A lot of people don't like these index clips because they're so hard to open initially, so I just shove my palette knife there, and I just put it under there and just give it a little bit of a twist, and it opens it up. And then if it's too much, you can squeeze it tight again. Not as tight, but it can be squeezed down. And then another tuck spot. I'm going to go back in there. And another pocket down here. This is just some scraps, so I just made a flip up you could journal on. It's a belly band, and then in there's some ephemera pieces, and I just used a rusty paper clip to attach them together. And on this side, there's a couple of ephemera pieces, and I just created a pocket with some scraps. That opens up, and there is a side pocket here. And here comes the sun. I'm going to have to close the curtain real quick because I'm not starting this video again. Sorry about that. Yeah, these images are just absolutely stunning. And just a little scrap piece of paper to journal on. Another pocket. And then there's a larger pocket. This is the last page of the first signature because it's the cardboard, or the, pardon me, file folder. So it's just a piece of paper that you can journal on. And on the back, I just created, excuse me, some acetate windows, and then just adhered it down so it's like two little pockets. In here. And then this is just a little junk journal. I gotta rough it up. It's too clean. I want to distress the edges a bit. It's very basic. There's nothing much in there. It's just some distressing that I did on the back of, I think this was actually a manila folder that I had distressed. So it's pretty basic. And then I just tied it with a string and clipped it to the top. So now we're on to the second signature. And again, there's a large pocket on the side, piece of scrap to journal on. And I did some punching on it. Another tuck spot here. And then another image. And then behind there is a envelope window. It's the other back part of that image. And this is how you access the envelope that has the window. This is just a piece of scrap and journal on the back. This is a side pocket here. This is a larger pocket on the side, and then a smaller one there. Another window, pardon me, not a window, pocket. And then, yeah, there's a large pocket on the side here. And same on this side, there's a large pocket. And there's also the two side pockets here. Oh, what gorgeous, just gorgeous, these images. Another piece of paper to journal on. Excuse me. Here is a little tuck spot. And then this flips down, and then it flips up, and you can journal on that. And then there's a pocket. And then this is an envelope that I've closed with a couple of D-rings. And inside there is a piece of ephemera. dangles. I just use some of the ephemera pieces to dangle. Piece of paper to journal on. Yeesh, these images, just stunning. Wow. Another tuck spot. And then this is the back page of the second signature, and it's a large pocket as well. So on the back of that signature, I just created a large window pocket. Tie that up after. And here there is a tuck space at the back, as well as this little tuck space here. Large pocket. Another tuck spot there. And then a couple of pockets, just with some ephemera that was in the paper collection. And that's just made with scrap paper. And then there's a tuck spot on the back side of that. And this is just some decorating that I had done with some scrap. Tuck spot on the side, just stunning. Yeah, and I just, on the back of that image, I just glued this down. This flips up, you can journal on it, and it turns and there's a pocket. And when you open that up, there is a large pocket on the side, just a piece of paper to journal on. And that turns over. And then there's, you can journal on these ephemera pieces, the back of them. And another envelope closed with D-rings and tie. Oh, wow. Wow. Yeah, and then there's another piece of scrap paper. Another pocket with some ephemera. And I just did some clustering, a bit of stamping. Same thing on this side. There's a tuck spot on both sides as well. Yeesh. Beautiful. Here I just created this little booklet that you can tear the pages off and journal on, tuck in a pocket, or you can just leave them where they are, do some journaling. It's pretty basic. And then on the back, there's a tuck spot there. And then this is a cluster with a tuck spot there. And then in here is a large pocket, and that is the end of the journal. There's another pocket there, 2 pockets. Oh, and there's also a pocket on the back. So that is it in a nutshell. So I hope you enjoyed it and that you got some inspiration from it, maybe. Yeah, so I hope to see you again in my next video, which I have no idea when that's going to be. I'm not sure what I'm going to be working on next. But anyway, please take care of yourself, and thanks so much for watching.